Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm gonna go through an about me and to give you guys a background about how I've grown up, what I've done and what I've achieved, my career, and then also so let's get started. So I was born in Hong Kong, 1990 baby, so I'm 35, and if you guys don't know where Hong Kong is just like a little island next to China. And in Hong Kong we speak Cantonese, so we speak Cantonese instead of Mandarin. But kids nowadays that grew up in Hong Kong, they have Mandarin lessons because Mandarin is a more popular language, so they want to teach people Mandarin as well. And it's I moved over to the UK when I was 6 years old, and I then went to schools in the UK, and I was lucky enough to get into a grammar school in the UK where I got pretty much straight A's, and I was a really good student. I don't know if I was a bit of a teacher's pet, because I read my old reviews on what the teachers say, and some people are like, oh, Cindy should make more effort, Cindy should be doing XYZ. But most of my friendship groups did get straight A's at GCSEs. So I did 11 GCSEs. I went to technology grammar school. I did food technology, which I remember making a so they had food tech, they had textiles, and then they had a wood tech, and within that I chose food technology. And it was great because I in my GCSE portfolio kind of dissertation, I made like a Chinese New Year theme like desserts. So I remember making like Swiss rolls. I remember making lots of different desserts, which I'd kind of like just pipe Chinese symbols on it to make it Chinese New Year themed. And I had a great time at school. I really did enjoy school a lot because I was friends with lots of different friendship groups, and I got on really well with everyone. So that's that school period. And then moving on to A-levels, I stayed in the same grammar school to do my A-levels, even though I should have applied to another grammar school, which would have probably got me into Oxford, Cambridge, if I gotten straight A's and stuff. But so in A-levels I studied business, economics, psychology. I dropped sociology because I just couldn't deal with it, and I hated sociology. I just didn't understand the topic at all. And so I did 3 A-levels instead of 4 A-levels. Should have really chosen maths, but my sister was like, don't ever choose maths, it's so hard. So I didn't choose maths. And then moving on from that, I did apply to University of Exeter, but because I got AAB instead of AAA, I didn't get into University of Exeter. So then I had to go into University of Kent, my second choice of uni, which kind of worked out better for me anyway, because the degree that I was going to do at Exeter was a business degree. It was like a full business degree. It was a BA business, I think, but my or was it BA economics? I can't quite remember. I don't even think BA, Bachelors of Arts Economics, exists, And instead of that, I studied economics at University of Kent, which I had a really, really great time in. I pretty much partied throughout my second year and my third year. Still got a 2-1, thankfully. And I would schedule my lectures to be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then when I say schedule my lectures, I would choose my courses based on the lecture times to be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then I've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. to party and, you know, study and do whatever on the side, watch Gossip Girls, whatever. And I did, if you guys don't know, like, I actually did start a YouTube channel back in the day, because at that time I was watching like YouTube gurus, like beauty gurus on there. And I recently found my YouTube videos from like 11 years ago. So it was like, you know, a bit after like I graduated from uni, and then when I started working for Honda. And then when I was working for Honda, I was Seihan executive as the first job, which is like logistics executive, managing the Japanese warehouse, managing the orders. So that we had a pipeline of orders, and lead times of like, I don't know, 3 to 6 months for power products, so not cars. And then I did that for a couple of years, 2 years, and then I moved on to be car sales analyst at various for the UK, for the whole of UK. So I was looking after kind of dealer allocations, dealer stocks. I then did that for 2 years, and then I moved on to another role, which is future retail sales manager role, which is to this day probably still one of my favorite roles, because I got to change the sales and marketing strategy for Honda Motor Europe. And I worked with a Deloitte team, so we hired a Deloitte team and I worked with them. And it was amazing because I got to travel for work. Travel to like Germany, France, and the UK to do kind of consumer research. Like I love traveling to Germany. It was an incredible time for me. And then I went to like different conferences. I went to different business conferences, and I got to travel and see quite a bit, not of the world, but of the automotive business world, if that makes sense, because I got to meet really cool people. And yeah, I then left Honda, sadly, to pursue a career in finance, because one, I wanted, you know, more money. I wanted to be a professional at something. So I pursued a career in accounting and went to do like strategic pricing, did a couple of roles where I was, and then I made my way up. So I did FP&A in McLaren Formula One, and then I worked my way up to be finance business partner in a company called Ticketer, which was finance business partner to the group CFO. But then after that, it was quite intense. So then I took a step back in my, I was then financial controller in Virgin Media O2, but then took a little bit of step back in my career to kind of evaluate what I wanted, and obviously I still had exams to do. But yeah, it's been kind of like an upwards journey quite quickly, and then a little bit of a dip. And then now I obviously run my own businesses, which I'm going back to future retail, and then mixing it with artificial intelligence, AI, and then mixing it with strategic finance. So kind of those 3 core pillars are my bread and butter. And yeah, been running my business properly and doing YouTube for the past 5 weeks. So I got my first brand deal as well a couple of days ago now, and yeah, just really excited to see, you know, what my journey as an entrepreneur is going to be, because I do get the blessing of doing what I want to in life and my career. And you know, in my mindset, I think, you know, I worked a good 14 years now, or like 13 years in a professional career. My salary was good, right? But it just wasn't like, it was never gonna get me rich, or I'm never gonna retire early. So I didn't want to go down that route of keep going down a professional finance career, yes, I probably could have made it to CFO, or like finance director or whatever, you know, like senior. But just with the stress and with like working for someone else, I just wanted to like work for myself. And I took a plunge essentially to like work for myself. And now I get to go to really cool like conferences. Again, I'm kind of back like at the stage of moving my career towards a more commercial direction, and taking what I know from finance and my learnings from accounting and finance into a more commercial role, which I love. And I am, yeah, doing what I love essentially on a day-to-day basis. So that's sort of how I grew up, you know, what I've done. So if you have any questions, if you want to get into a career in like accounting, if you want to like work for an automotive world, if you want to, you know, drop me a comment and I would be happy to like answer your questions. Give me a thumbs up for this video if you like this type of content. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I would see you guys in the next one. Bye.